Senators, what we have here with this bill is the final kill shot against direct democracy. Confusingly, it's sour grapes. I say confusingly because you won. The amendments didn't pass. Sour grapes in reaction to two failed constitutional amendments that were nearly too close to call. Amendment 3, 56% of the vote. Amendment 4, 57% of the vote. 57% of Floridians supporting. Nearly passed. So instead of reflecting on what the majority of Floridians told us in Amendment 3 and Amendment 4, first, that they believe that we should allow cannabis freedom and legalize Florida. Maybe Amendment 3 wasn't the exact way to do it, but a clear majority of Floridians told us, yeah, I think we should legalize cannabis. Why don't you work on this, Florida legislature? Bills were filed to do just that by Republicans and Democrats. So if you didn't like my bill to legalize cannabis, which I've filed nearly every year that I've been a state representative or state senator, you didn't have to hear mine. You could have heard a Republican proposal to do so. They were introduced. No hearings, no conversation. 57% of Floridians told us that a 6-week abortion ban was extreme and should be overturned. So instead of taking action, when they told us do something about this extreme abortion ban, we did nothing. Oh, wait, I'm wrong. We did something. We came up with this bill to remind people that we are not listening. The executive branch in the 2024 election did everything they could to stop Amendments 3 and 4. And by everything, I really do mean everything they could to stop it. They improperly used public funds and publicly funded PSAs to oppose constitutional amendments they didn't like. They threatened broadcast media executives with criminal prosecution simply for running paid TV ads in favor of Amendment 4. They engaged in voter intimidation by sending elections police to people's houses who signed petitions. And it's been uncovered by our colleagues down the hall in the Florida House of Representatives that they may have broke the law by diverting and laundering millions in public Medicaid dollars to fund political ads against these amendments. They also published a massive report alleging fraud, full of misstatements, full of questionable methodology, full of blank pages. It's a stack of documents right there on Senator Davis's desk. Inaccurate numbers. They immediately weaponized that document in a lawsuit waiting in the wings to strike Amendment 4 in the case that voters approved it on November 5th. Senators, there are so many egregious and onerous provisions in this bill that would make it impossible to ever get a constitutional amendment, a citizen-led constitutional amendment on the ballot ever again. It would be comical if it were not so dangerous. Charging volunteers with third-degree felonies for having more than 5 signed petitions in their possession without first registering with the state? Come on. How have our politics gotten so twisted that we're now saying that Floridians can secretly carry an unlimited amount of loaded firearms without a registered permit with the state, unlimited. But if they have more than 5 signed petitions in their possession, they have committed a third-degree felony where their voting rights will be revoked and they may go to prison for up to 5 years. How absurd! How are signed petitions more dangerous than loaded firearms? I don't understand. But it underscores the absurdity of this proposal. A proposal that is meant to silence the voices of millions of Floridians for generations. I'm going to vote no today for fairness. I'm going to vote no for the Constitution, for our democracy, and for the majority of Floridians that will not be silenced.